The week was long, your feet are tired, could use a vacation. Just gather round and join with Dub, it's Monday Motivation. Monday Motivation.
Hey friends, you're a little bit of a distance away from me. Hopefully you can hear me. Welcome to another Monday Motivation. I'm sitting out here in our backyard that the girls have been working really hard on, and we're almost done. We're very, very close to being done. Don't forget, use the hashtag bigdubsqueeze. You know the rules. Use it and leave one positive thing about yourself. Remember, we're giving random giveaways away through the month of May. Let's get to our Monday motivation quote for this week. It comes from Helen Keller. I think everybody knows who Helen Keller is. And the quote is, I'll probably paraphrase here a little bit, but it is, keep your eyes to the sun and you will never see shadows. Keep your eyes to the sun and you'll never see shadows. You'll have no shadows. And I thought that was an appropriate quote. Last week, we learned lessons from my mom that I enjoyed doing. Thanks for all the positive comments from those of you who watched that. What was really on my mind this week as we did some things to celebrate Natalie as the mother in Kaya's life. We went and had a fun weekend doing that. We had Victoria here, and she actually came and watched the puppy for us while we took a day trip to Chattanooga yesterday, so that Rufus wouldn't have to spend 6-7 hours locked up. And my older sister Kimberly came over, and she brought a friend over, and they spent time with Rufus. And what that really made me feel was how blessed I am. Now, there's a lot of things that could make me feel blessed. There's a lot of tangible things that can make me feel blessed. I'm sitting and I have a land that I own, this property, a fenced-in backyard, a patio, fire pit. I mean, those are all things that cost money that a lot of folks don't have, and I'm certainly blessed to have that, blessed to have a job that provides. Doesn't mean I haven't worked really hard in my life and my career to get there. I certainly have through high school and undergraduate and master's degree. I've worked very hard to get to that place in my life. So it doesn't mean I haven't earned it, but it is a blessing, right? There are plenty of blessings that you deserve. There are plenty of blessings that you get that you don't deserve. And there are plenty of things that people do deserve that they never get. That's just the reality of life, unfortunately. But I try to focus on the everyday things that make me feel blessed. I try to keep my eyes on the sun so I don't see the shadows. There are shadows that happen to all of us. There are challenging things that happen each and every day. As you are trying to work through your B-Dub Fit journey, whatever that may be, whatever positive thing you're trying to do, whether it's improving your mental health, whether it's improving the power of positivity in yourself, whether it's improving your emotional health, whether that's growing a circle of friends, going out and doing more, going out and doing less, whether it's trying to quit drinking so much, quit smoking so much, perform better at work, lose weight, exercise more, whatever it is, you're going to have setbacks. You're going to have shadows that enter. The quote from Helen Keller doesn't say the shadows won't be there. She's saying you won't see them. They're going to be there. But if you keep your eyes up on the sun, and in my analogy here, the sun is our blessings, the things that we are blessed with. We don't see the shadows. We don't see as much of the hardships. This week that I'm focused on blessings, I got pretty sick for a couple days. I really didn't feel well. From Sunday night until Friday morning, I really didn't feel well. Started feeling pretty bad Sunday night. Monday, I went and worked out at kickboxing. It was rough. I was really struggling through it. I'm thankful to my instructor, my teammates there who were looking after me, making sure I didn't push too hard. And by Monday afternoon, I couldn't. I didn't have any energy anymore. And Tuesday and Wednesday, I couldn't work out. I was able to work through the work day, primarily because I had a lot of meetings to sit and listen. But it was challenging. But I never viewed this week as a negative week. I viewed it as a great week. I was able to formally sign the paper on a promotion for myself, which more importantly was able to let me formally promote one of my top teammates into a new role, and she got to sign that paper formally. And the announcements came out from the organization, and we got to hear very positive feedback for both of us for our new roles. And hearing her being so excited about the feedback she received made me feel awesome. It was a blessing. It's a blessing to be able to do that for somebody else. It's a blessing to be able to sit in the backyard. It's a blessing to be able to film this for you on a phone, be able to upload it on the internet. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody has high-speed internet access or internet access at all, or a way to record anything. Not everybody has that. It's a blessing. It was a blessing to have sisters to come watch my puppy so that we didn't have to worry about him being locked up by himself while we went and did a day trip. Allowed us to do that day trip. It's a blessing. It's a blessing that I get to be able to have so many friends that when we go to these conventions or events or family affairs or whatever the case is, we get to be with them and laugh with them and experience life with them. If you've been watching the Dub Life episodes and the other episodes from conventions recently, but Toylanta and ICCC and whatever, you see how much fun we have just living life together. It's a blessing to know these people, to have these people in my life. And that is the sun for me. That's the sun. It isn't paycheck. It isn't stuff you buy, stuff you own. It isn't your car. It's not a good Marvel movie necessarily. It could be to some people. But the real blessings that I want to focus on are the everyday things in life. The things that often get taken for granted that I am blessed with that not everybody has. That not everybody has. Parents that love me, that show positive influence, that are supportive. Both my parents will probably watch this video. That shows support to what I do, to watch the silly things we do on YouTube, to have sisters that will be there and be present for anything we do, to have such a good relationship with my siblings. A lot of people don't have that kind of relationship with their siblings. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. To have so many close family and friends, and several really close, long-term friends that are lifelong friends, no matter what happens, that are always there. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to be able to be there for friends when they're going through challenging times, which also can be happening at any time in our life. We never know what somebody's going through. It's a blessing to just be able to reach out and say hello. It's a blessing to have someone that does the same thing for you. Those are things we take for granted. We take for granted because they don't produce dollars, or they don't produce necessarily fun, or they don't produce a feeling. We take them for granted because they're everyday. But that's the sun that she's talking about. If we're only looking at the sun of ICCC was fun, now I'm excited for MegaCon, now I'm excited for San Diego Comic-Con, there's a lot of gaps between those events. If we're only looking from paycheck day to paycheck day to paycheck, there's a lot of gaps. But if we look at the true blessings of everyday life, that's how we keep ourselves away from the shadows. I mean, they won't come. They're always going to come. There's some people that are dealing with some shadows right now that are darker than any of us could imagine. It's just the reality. And we learn a lot of lessons in those shadows. And we've talked about that. We'll keep talking about that. But to stay focused on the sunlight keeps us going forward day after day after day. And the blessings of everyday life are what I wanted to think about. It really just the simple fact of my sisters coming and watching our puppy so that we could go take Natalie on a thing that meant a lot to her really made me grateful for the blessings that I have in my life. So that's what I encourage you to focus on. The sun, the positive things, the outlook on life. You won't notice the shadows as much. And when they're there, you just keep going. One step at a time, one positive step at a time. I think more than anything, working on the brain will help the body, will help the habits, will help everything else if you can just get your positive outlook better. That's what I encourage you to do. That's my discussion for today's Monday Motivation. I hope you all have a great week. I'll talk to you next time.